Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Bukobe Bikekra. I'm here with a guest.
My name is Ibuka Tuluchi. Super excited to be here, guys.
Alright, so guys, we're going to be checking out a video together titled Why I Converted from Islam to Christianity.
Wow.
Interesting. Let's watch, guys.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Cyrus Speaks, and this is my testimony as to how I converted from Islam to Christianity. So I know it's crazy because a lot of people that follow me, did not know that I used to be a Muslim. Actually, many of y'all who've been friends with me for years even did not know that I converted to Christianity. So I thought it would be good if I made a video giving my testimony, explaining how Jesus saved me from Islam, and also why I have decided to continue in Christianity and in this faith. As a young boy in elementary school, I took it upon myself to start to learn and research as much as I could about other religions. I was very interested, very curious. Being absent of faith, I decided to start reading these different books. And in reading these different books, from Judaism to atheism, Christianity, Islam, the list goes on and on and on, I ended up coming upon Islam. And to me, Islam made sense. It made sense to me because ultimately Islam teaches that you can get to heaven based off of your good works and good deeds. Islam says you have to do, whereas Christianity says Christ has done on our behalf. So to me, Islam made sense. Islam says you are not born into sin. It says you become a sinner. I was living with my mother and my stepfather. It caused so much friction in the household because they were Christians and I disagreed with Christianity. It caused a lot of conflict, and I actually moved out to live with my eldest sister and her husband, and they were Muslims. So fast forward a few years later, I'm living with my sister and her husband, and I'm in school. And literally, it is the last day of school. This school was out, and I ended up getting into a fight. I actually got jumped. So after I got jumped, I went home to call some friends of mine. My eldest sister, she saw me calling my homies, and she knew it was about to be some drama. So she's telling me, "You ain't about to bring no drama to my house. I ain't about to have no hood dudes at my house trying to make stuff pop off." Literally, while we're arguing, a knock comes at the door. We open the door, and what do you know? It's this white Christian dude at the door. And I say that because at the time I was really dealing with racism as well. So my sister decides to invite him in. I don't know why. She's a Muslim. I'm a Muslim. We don't like Christians, whatever. But she invites him in nevertheless. So he's telling us how he and some of his church members have decided, since it is now the last day of school and now technically it's summer, that he and his staff would invite some of the youth in our neighborhood and close by neighborhoods over to his house. My sister pressured me to go because she said, "You are not about to be getting into some drama. You need to go somewhere where there's some positivity happening." So I'm at this guy's house, and I'm looking around. It's like all these Christians. I had never been around this many young Christians before in my life, especially of different ethnicities, races, so on and so forth. And they chilling, we eating food, we chopping it up, we laughing, and almost out of nowhere, a couple hours goes by, and then this dude is just like, "Hey y'all, we're gonna go ahead and turn some worship music on and start worshiping the Lord." I'm like, "Bro, what? Worship who?" I'm like, "Man, see, that's why I can't fool with y'all church folk. Y'all Christians, y'all always want to worship and talk about Jesus." It's like, man, I'm trying to have some good food. I'm trying to have some good time. It was a couple girls up in there. I was checking them out. So the crazy part about him saying we're going to start worshiping was that he turned on some music, and it was like some weird hippie music. I mean, it was contemporary Christian music with like an acoustic guitar, but I ain't never heard that. The only gospel music I had ever heard was like that gospel music. So I'm thinking like, what is this weird hippie, "We love you, Jesus," the weird voices and all. I'm like, man, what is this that's going on? What was really crazy to me though was that all of the people in there, all of the kids, the young adults, literally began to worship Jesus intimately, personally, like they knew him personally. Like some would be dancing, some were singing a song, some were down on their knees crying, some were sitting down. Like literally everyone was just worshiping and talking to Jesus privately. And I had never seen that before. So, I'm like, whatever, I'm trying to face towards Mecca because, in Islam, we're supposed to face towards Mecca when you pray. Probably about 10 minutes went by, and the presence of God filled this man's living room. And I'm not usually a person that talks about like feeling type stuff or spiritual stuff in that way, but there is no other way to explain or describe it than the presence of God literally came in this man's living room, and I experienced it and I felt it. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. I'm thinking like, nah, man, I'm tripping. They put something in the food. They don't spike the food. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's not it. Okay, maybe it's my adrenaline since I got jumped earlier. I'm like, maybe it's this weird hipster music that they have playing. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I couldn't. So eventually I got up, left out of that man's living room, went in his guest restroom, closed the door, and immediately started blaspheming and cursing the name of Jesus. It's not the son of Allah, that Allah does not have children, that Jesus is just a prophet, not even as great as the great prophet Muhammad. Like, I'm saying all of these things that I have been studied and raised up within Islam to believe. And about 5 minutes goes by and I feel the presence of God feel this man's living room, like just feel this man's house, and I'm on the floor crying, weeping under the presence of God. And this man don't even know what's going on. I get up, I look in the mirror, I'm wiping the tears, and I'm like, God, I'm not even a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I was like, I don't even believe your Bible is true, because Islam teaches that the Bible is only partially true. And for the first time ever, I heard God's voice, and God spoke to me. He said, don't worry about changing. Don't worry about transforming. Read my word and allow my word and my love to transform you. After that, I didn't immediately just get saved and everything was rose petals. It was a huge tug of war between both the faiths within my heart, because I wanted to honor God, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing it the right way. But those people lovingly walked with me. And through them walking with me, through them showing me through the text and through the scriptures and through their love, I was able to realize that Jesus is the Son of God. He is God. He is more than just a prophet. So, man, that is the story as to how I got saved. Man, it was a long process after that. I got to do a lot of missionary work, got to travel a whole lot, and preach to a lot of people, man. But aside from that, man, what is your testimony? Like, I shared this both to bless you, but also to encourage you to share your testimony. The word says that we overcome by the power of the blood and the word of our testimony. And it's not about how good you can tell your testimony. It's not about how interesting your testimony sounds or how powerful your testimony sounds. It is about the power of the one who's giving your testimony, who is Jesus. Aside from that, let me know what my testimony, how it spoke to you, if it blessed you at all, man. Comment down below. Make sure y'all subscribe, and you also turn on the bell notification so you can be notified of the next video that Diamond or I will be dropping for y'all. We have some special treats coming up for y'all. So, man, love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.
Interesting. The same way Christians convert to Islam, we have a lot of Muslims that convert to Christianity, and it's really nice to hear this, because he said Muslims believe that the Bible is partially true, but it's not so. Everything in the Bible is really true. Like, I've witnessed a lot of Muslims coming to my church in Nigeria, and I could see how they were transformed. They were like, truly, Jesus really exists. So the power of God is really real. All this kind of thing. Until you try it, until you go there, until you try to do something, you will not believe it. You believe in what people say. I'm not saying this for people to convert, but it depends on your faith. Any religion you are into, all what matters is that just believe in the God you're serving, and that's what matters. Be it Christian or Muslim, we are all serving God. And don't let us blaspheme each other or look down each other's religion, that, oh, Christians do this. Like he said that when he went to the church, the way they were all singing somewhere, kneeling down, praying, so that it was actually strange to him that what's going on here, and the way they were playing the guitar, singing, like he was expecting this normal gospel song, but it was like the atmosphere was just different, and before he knew it, it was just his normal self. He was not even taking the whole thing serious, but before he knew it, he connected, and the Spirit of the Lord, took over him, and it changed his life, and that's what matters. That is it.
Well, like I said, yeah, our approach to people, our love, our character is another thing people look at. You could see the way the people came to him, and see, when God wants to reach out to you, he uses different circumstances. Yeah, you might be like, why this, why that. I keep telling some people, if not you, who? If this thing happened to me, if not you, so you want all the good things to happen to you, then who should all the bad things happen to? Because the more you are gaining, someone else is losing. You're alive, someone else has died. You know, so you just, life is always a mix. That's why it's life. It's just it's not a one-way traffic. Yeah, or you keep enjoying, the other person keeps suffering now. And look at the way he got Richard, or the time God wanted to bring him to Christianity. It was the fact that he was jumped that day, he was beaten up that day. He was angry, he was full with rage. He wants, like, he's going to mess someone up that day, you know. He has called his gangs and like his guys, like, let's go mess some people up, let's go, you know. And he was ready, you know. His sister was like, yo, bro, not happening in my house today, you know. It's not happening in my house today. You know, I got kids and the rest of that here. It's not going to, I don't want no drama here. And that was then the period this Christian decided to go reach out to people, to the youth around.
Yes.
Now, that is no coincidence now. Because God has looked at him and like, he's been searching for truth.
Yes.
Yeah. And because he has been searching for truth, God knows his heart. That was why he was at home at that period. He could have arranged, okay, guys, you meet me up at so place, not in the house. But he got reached out there. And if he wasn't at the house, probably he wouldn't have gone. Probably they met him somewhere else because the sister pressured him. You go, stop. I don't want you calling your friends over here to come cause trouble, you know. So that because of the pressure, he was at home and he was raging, and the sister's like, dude, I don't want this drama. You go with these people at least where there's positivity around, you know. So you go there. Now he got there, and everything was strange, you know. He has, see, it depends on what we hear and what our leaders tells us most times when we don't really say. Yeah. Now look at it. He says they've already told them Christians are this. We don't like Christians. Look at the kind of mindset he was carrying here because of what the people around him, the Muslims around him, are saying. But most of these people don't really know more about the Quran. The Quran doesn't preach that. The Quran preach love. You know, you love, true love, you can even convert people. But these are the kind of things they are pumping into him, you know. Now he goes there, he's seeing Christians, and he was like, you these people, what the hell is happening here, and the rest of that, you know. And when they said to turn on the music, like...
Yeah, started the worship, the praise and worship. It was...
You know, first like... What's
what
happening here? Every time you want to worship Jesus and the rest of that. So he felt the presence here. God was trying to reach out to him. He was blocking his mind. You could remember the story of Pharaoh when God was trying to like his mind, but he became then God. So God decided, okay, all right. But this God knows his heart that he was actually looking for him. He knows where he will better fit to make his kingdom. So even when he was blocking his mind, God was just laughing at him and like you. You're just a piece of
yes,
you know?
I've captured you already.
Even when he left the room because of the weight, the pressure, it was like the pressure was much inside there because of what he was seeing around him, what he was feeling. He had to go to the toilet and he said he blasphemed against Jesus and like Jesus is not a prophet, a real prophet, and the rest of that. I think, you know, like Muhammad is even greater than him and the rest of that. God was just still in the toilet when he was in still. The pressure from the feeling, like it was too much for him. He broke down without even knowing it, you know, without the others knowing what is happening. He was in the toilet. He was feeling the food was spike or something, you know. But then you see, it took time for him to be it didn't just happen at once. Even though he felt the presence, even though, you know, but there was a battle and he kept on going, listening, reading. That's when he was able to fully yield to God.
Like when he started the video in the beginning, he said his parents were Christians and the sister, husband were Muslim, so he had to convert to Muslim. Now God has brought him back. Like, so this whole thing is not that, oh, it has been written already. Maybe one thing or the other made him convert to Muslim. So God was like, okay, it seems it's not time for my son to, you know, come back to me. So God had to reach out to him through those men, those, you know, ministers of God. I will call them ministers of God, yeah. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more. Like, share, and comment. I'll be dropping his channel link in the description. Follow him for more. We'll see you in the next one, guys.